Hey, what's up y'all, it's your boy Turts, back at it again. I just finished a playthrough of Doom Eternal on PC, and here's my experience with it. Like Halo 1, I wanted to play Doom Eternal on a harder difficulty just to get some extra challenge, so I went with Nightmare. However, that was not intentional. Starting off, Nightmare was not exceptionally challenging, however I did still struggle and die, but I never got to the point where I felt overly frustrated. That pretty quickly changed, however, once I got deeper into the game. There were sections where I could never stop moving or shooting, and if I ever made a mistake, I would lose a chunk of my health, and there were even some situations where I would still lose health no matter what I did. Although it was difficult to feel constant pressure from all the enemies, it was still mostly fun. I love the feeling of having to be constantly active and thinking of your next move while also still trying to keep track of everything that's going on around you. That level of multitasking and persistent engagement is something that really stuck out to me while playing. Doom Eternal is not a game where you can sit still and slowly kill the enemies, especially on the harder difficulties. Enemies don't wait for you in this game and will actively seek you out. You need to be constantly moving as you try and whittle down the enemy forces while also keeping track of your foes and your own health. Amongst all that, you also have to keep track of your weapons and their ammo. Unlike a lot of shooters where ammo management was a non-issue, you have to consider each shot you take carefully. Of course, that doesn't mean having bad aim was a death sentence, it just provided another layer of exciting worry. The hordes of demons and your own items are not the only thing you have to keep track of. As you're constantly dodging and weaving through the enemies, you also have to keep track of the environment. Knowing where those fuel can pickups are, knowing where the launch pads are, the gaps, the walls, the health packs, everything mattered. While playing, there were plenty of situations where I was low on health and ammo, forcing me to scramble to find anything that can keep me alive. Meaning the difference between knowing where the health pack or fodder demon was is life and death. That added level of gameplay knowledge made getting through each onslaught of enemies so much more gratifying. Alright, so I mentioned here at the beginning of the video, I unintentionally chose Nightmare. When I was initially deciding on the difficulty, I had my mind set on doing the second hardest difficulty. So as I was reading the difficulties and the descriptions, I saw and read Ultra Nightmare, made the wise decision to not choose that one, and then selected Nightmare. I eventually realized about 1/3 through the game that I was playing on Nightmare and not the second hardest difficulty like I thought I was. Since I already played through some of the game on Nightmare, I considered just continuing the rest of the game on that difficulty. However, there was one determining factor that made me want to switch. That factor being that although I really enjoyed the difficulty and the challenge, it felt like in some instances I wasn't progressing because I was getting better. It felt like I was just getting lucky and managed to not die. Honestly, it even felt like I was just bad at the game sometimes since I was dying so much. Even though there were opportunities for me to be better, like using my flamethrower more efficiently or better weapon utilization, I still began to feel frustrated. At this point, I had to make a decision. Do I continue with Nightmare and risk the challenge becoming unfun, or do I switch to Ultraviolence and feel like the game was too easy after playing on Nightmare? I felt like I could continue to grind through the encounters and have fun, even if it meant dying repeatedly. It would be frustrating and challenging, but I feel like I could ultimately still enjoy the game somewhat. On the other hand though, that isn't exactly what I signed up for when I started playing Doom. I wanted to play a game where I can slay demons and feel strong, and playing on Nightmare did not quite satisfy that need for me. At first I felt subconscious about going down difficulty, as if it would affect my gamer cred. Then I remembered that I play games for my enjoyment, and I'm not trying to impress anyone. So I ended up going with the easy option and switched to Ultraviolence. After switching, the difference in difficulty became very clear to me. On Ultraviolence, it felt like there was so much extra leeway, I began to die a fraction of what I did on Nightmare. It became a lot easier for me to enjoy the game for the original reason I wanted to, while not having to worry about retrying a section over and over again. I still ended up dying a few times, but now I can enjoy the game how I wanted to enjoy it, and honestly dying was kinda what I wanted. I didn't want the game to be a cakewalk, so dying meant I saw some challenge. From there, I made a pretty steady pace to complete the game. Overall, Doom Eternal is a really fun and exciting game. It was visually exciting seeing the gory, awesome glory kills. It really fulfilled my enjoyment of visceral action and violence. It was challenging to have to constantly be multitasking and moving while fighting. After switching to Ultraviolence, I could feel a sense of progression in terms of becoming stronger and better at the game, especially when I got more weapons and figured out a good strategy on how to use them. The fast-paced, violent, gore-fueled FPS gameplay, combined with the mental challenge of keeping track of everything going on around you, really created an amazing experience. Although I've only played Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, the experiences both really resonate with what I believe to be the core idea of the series. You see demon, you kill demon.
Kill them. Must kill them all.
That single idea is what really drew me to play Doom 2016 and what drew me to play Doom Eternal when it was released. Since the idea and core was so simple, I knew exactly what I was getting into. I wanted to play a game that was straightforward, easy to get into, and was not filled with a lot of fluff, and that's what Doom Eternal gave me. To wrap it up, Doom Eternal is a great game to pick up and play, but if you want difficulty and challenge, it's there for you too. If you like this video, consider hitting that subscribe button. If you have any constructive feedback, please let me know. I'm out here trying to improve. If you're interested in following me on social media, you can check me out on Twitter at TurtsTV, TURTSTV. You can also check me out at my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/Turts, where I try to stream Thursday to Monday. There will also be links down in the description below for both my Twitter and my Twitch stream. Before I go, let me leave you all with some gameplay I recorded. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.
Attention, all mortally challenged personnel. The Slayer is inside the facility. Please proceed with aggression.